Welcome back to Storybook Crochet. For today's video we are going to be making this little white flower. If you like the teddy bear hat, I have videos up to make the hat and the ears separately. I have sizes for preemie through 6 to 12 months on the hat, and here after I make the flower I'm going to go ahead and record how to make these tiny bees. So if you don't want to miss any of those videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you are notified as soon as those videos are available. So the supplies that you will need for today's video are worsted yarns in colors like a white or cream, a green, and a golden yellow. You're also going to need an H hook. You could use smaller yarn and hook if you prefer on the little flowers to make them smaller. Or you could use a bulkier yarn and a bigger hook to make bigger flowers. So that's totally up to you. You're going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. So go ahead and grab all those supplies and we will get started. Okay, so we're going to start with our yellow yarn. So grab your hook and we're going to start out with a magic ring. And then you're going to chain one. And in this magic ring we are going to make 10 single crochets. So just single crochet around those that yarn into the circle. Okay, so we have 10 single crochets made, so we're going to take that tail and we're going to pull it tight. Since we have so many single crochets in the middle, you want to make sure that's really good and secure. So we're now going to change to our white yarn. So what you're going to want to do is put your hook through that first single crochet that you made. Go ahead and cut your yellow yarn, and we are finished with that, so you can put that to the side. Let's grab our white yarn, and then you're going to grab onto that and pull that through both loops on your hook, and then you're going to chain one. Okay, and you can kind of pull on each of those tails to kind of adjust everything. Make sure it's all even and tight. All right, so we made our chain one. In the next stitch, we're going to be putting a bunch of stitches for our first petal. So the first thing you're going to want to do is slip stitch into that next stitch. So make your slip stitch. Then we're going to chain one. Okay? In that same stitch, we're going to make one single crochet. Okay? We're going to half double crochet. And again, this is all in that same stitch. Okay, after we half double crochet, we're going to make 2 double crochets. So 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. We're going to make another half double crochet. And the last stitch will be a single crochet. Okay, so we've made 1 petal here. Now, you're going to have to kind of move that to the side to see that next stitch. And you're just going to slip stitch into that. Okay, so that finishes off 1 petal. So we're going to repeat that 4 times, and I've got it written up at the top of the screen so that you can see how to make these. So I will tell you one more time how to make it, and then you can just read the pattern for the next petals. So go ahead and slip stitch again into that next stitch. Chain 1, single crochet, all in the same stitch, half double crochet, 2 double crochets, a half double crochet, and we'll finish it off with a single crochet. Okay. Move that to the side so you can see the next stitch and slip stitch into it. Okay, so we now have 2 petals made, and as you can tell, my circle here doesn't like to stay closed, so at the end I'll show you how to weave that in so that doesn't keep happening. Alright, so you're going to repeat that pattern 3 more times, so we have a total of 5 petals. Okay, so I've made my 5 petals, so I'm just going to slip stitch to that very first stitch that we have of the round, and we're just going to pull that yarn out, cut a longer tail if you're going to be sewing this to something. If not, you can cut a shorter tail and just weave that in. Okay, so I'm going to take the time now to go ahead and weave in all of my ends here so that our flower is finished off. So I'm going to start with, so I'm going to leave the long tail because I'll be sewing this onto something. So grab your yarn needle and you're just going to take all these shorter tails and get them weaved in. Alright, so that is finished and we have our flower made. Next we'll do our leaves. Before we do that, I wanted to show you my newest pattern that I have added to my Etsy and Ravelry shops, and they include these flowers in it, and it is the Bumblebee Hive hexagon blankets, and I'll show you a picture here. Again, this is in my Etsy and Ravelry shops. I have a link to this pattern for both websites in the description below if you want to check that out. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab our green yarn and we'll get our leaves made. So the first thing you're going to want to do is chain 9. So make your slip knot and chain 9. Okay, so once you have that done, we're going to start in our second chain from our hook, so not this first one, but right here. The first stitch you're going to do is a slip stitch. Okay, the next stitch is going to be a single crochet. Okay, so we have a slip stitch, a single crochet, then we're going to half double crochet in the next stitch, and another half double crochet in the stitch after that. So again, we have a slip stitch, a single crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet. So now we're going to make 3 double crochets across the next 3 stitches. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Okay, so this is what our leaf looks like so far. So we have 1 chain at the end left, and in that 1 chain we're going to make 5 double crochets. So you're going to put all 5 in that last chain. Okay, so now our work is turned over, and this is called working on the opposite side of the chain. So you're going to work in the very bottoms of that original chain that you made. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to repeat just the opposite of what we did on the first part of the pattern. So we're going to make 3 double crochets across the next 3 stitches. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Alright, so that's what that looks like. And then we're going to half double crochet in the next. 1 more half double crochet in the next stitch. So we have 3 double crochets, 2 half double crochets. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch. In that very last chain right here, we're going to make our slip stitch. Alright, so go ahead and pull your yarn, and you're going to leave a long tail so that we can sew it to the flower. Okay, if you did not crochet over the short tail, you'll want to weave that in, but I crocheted over mine so I can just cut it. So now we have our leaves. So grab your yarn needle and we will sew them onto our flower. Alright, so we have our needle. Go ahead and thread that tail onto your needle. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we need our yarn tail to be on the other side of our leaf, not at the tip of it. So you just weave through the back of your leaf to get it to the right position. Alright, like that. Then you're just going to place, I like to place mine like this, but you could do like that. I mean, just however you want it to be placed on the back of your flower. So at this point, I just go through the back of the flower and the stitches on the leaf, and I'm just going to work my way around, making sure that it's good and secure on there. Don't go all the way through your flower, or you're going to see the green yarn on the other side, on the front side, and you don't want that. So just grab a back stitch and weave it through. Okay, when I get to the side, I just go ahead and weave it through to the other side of the leaf. And then just work up that other side. Alright, once you've gone around, you're just going to weave that end through a couple of times, and then you can go ahead and cut that yarn. Okay, so that is our first leaf sewn, and you could even leave it at just one leaf if you like the look of that. So go ahead and sew on your other leaf real quick, and I will meet you back when you're finished with that. Alright, so our flowers are now finished, and that is what it should look like. Comment below and let me know what you're making with your flowers, and if you decide to make the bear hat. I would love to hear from you on that. So thank you for joining me in today's video, and I will see you next time.